Hi guys, welcome to the Random Burrito and welcome to your reading. So this is sort of a POV-ish kind of video. I've been getting a lot of questions on my FB page as to how I do my readings. So this is how a reading with me would look like. And first things first, I ask my clients to prepare 3 questions before we go into the reading. The questions could be like topics about career, love life, business, finances, or if they want like a general reading first and then explore the specifics later, we can also do that. But the more clear, the more intention you put in the questions that you have, then the better the reading is going to be. Prior to the reading, I do prepare myself mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I pray to the forces that be. I pray to my deity. I pray to the fates, or in Greek, the Moirai. So, yes, Moira's name, the singer, actually means fate or destiny. So once I've done my preparation, I make sure the space is ready. And when the client comes in, of course, I greet them, sit them down, ask if they've had a reading before or if this is their first time. Because honestly, some of the cards in tarot, like if you use the Rider Waite symbolism, they could be quite intimidating. So if I have a client who's like a first timer to tarot, I choose something that's more like whimsical or friendly looking, just so they could be at ease. So some cards here, like this one, if it's your first time reading this and you're quite literal in understanding the images, then you might think that you're gonna die, which is not necessarily the case. So that's one of the reasons why I ask my clients if it's their first time or not. And then I prepare my cards. So I have here my tarot deck. This is Tarot Mucha. I've done an unboxing flip through video with this. And then I prepare my other decks. So these two are oracle decks. Oops, sorry. So oracle decks are used mainly for meditation, self-affirmation. I use them in tandem with the tarot cards to give further advice and clarification. And if they want more details, they want more clear-cut predictions or advice or other queries, I ask Lenormand or Sibila, which is my other deck. So there are some questions that tarot will not be used for answering. So light-hearted queries, especially questions that are related to or questions that are bordering on spying on others. I don't use tarot for that. Tarot should never be used to spy on someone else's moves or to gossip. But I do have this Lenormand deck and my other Sibila deck, which is also kind of similar to this, but those are mainly used for inquiries or queries that tarot is not supposed to be used for. So, no matter what your question, I'm prepared with my tools to answer your question. All right? So, let's say my client has already formulated their answer and they want to ask about their love life. Just a reading about their love life. They're single, they've been wanting to connect with someone romantically, and they just want to know what their future would look like in terms of their love life or in terms of romance. So, this is how I shuffle my deck. I don't riffle shuffle them, but I still use this method just so I can get reversals. I shuffle the deck. And when I feel that it's done, I give it over to the client. And I would ask the client, if this is an in-person reading, I would ask the client to divide or cut the deck into 3 smaller piles and ask them to rearrange the pile and put them back together. So the client may do it this way. All right. And then they hand it over back to me. And then I shuffle one last time. Now, normally I would use a Celtic cross spread, and I will explain what the Celtic cross is. Sometimes some questions are better read with a different spread, but most of the time I use Celtic cross, and this is how I do my Celtic cross spread. The first card you get reflects the present situation, 8 of Wands. So that means my client, my hypothetical client, is kind of in a hurry. They feel like they're running out of time when it comes to love and romance. Next, we have the challenge, or something, the bridge that you need to cross. We have the 4 of Pentacles. The challenge that they have in this situation is that they are looking for stability, and yet they are not fully there themselves. You know, they want stability in their life, they want stability in the material world, and it's still a challenge. There are still some things that they need to put together. All right. The past, we have the 3 of Wands. So this person has been feeling ready for a long time. This person, this client, has been looking over the horizon for quite some time, and they feel like they are really ready for a committed relationship. The future. So what's in store for them? We have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So in the near future, they may not be able to find the right person just yet. They might fall into the pitfalls of false leads in terms of romance. They might date a few ugly ducklings first. And then we have their surface thoughts or feelings. So we have the 8 of Swords reversed. And then we have their subconscious. We have the Queen of Wands reversed. So this could offer, these 2 cards could offer me like an insight into what the person or the client's inner world is like. You know, they feel like they're ready to put themselves out in the world. They've been trapped in their head for the longest time, but now they're setting themselves free. But deep inside, something is still holding them back. They still don't feel that they're quite confident enough that they'll find a romantic interest. They're not that, they don't feel as beautiful or as confident or as headstrong as they want to be deep down inside. There's some confidence issue that they may need to overcome first mentally, you know. That may not necessarily be the truth. You know, they could be the prettiest or the most gorgeous person in the world, but deep down inside, they don't feel it. The cards are telling me that. So, this card is the advice. We have the 5 of Swords. So, this person may really have to break some ties, may have to burn some bridges from people, experiences, and ideas from the past so they could move forward. Next is the environment, what's going on around them. So this person may actually be surrounded by people who are not entirely honest, or maybe are manipulating her, or are not really forthcoming with the truth. That's what the Magician in reverse is telling me. their hopes and desires and their fears. What they are afraid of is that their life may go out of balance once they find romance or once they open up to others. That's a fear everyone has, being vulnerable, allowing someone to get into your life and you bearing your truth to them can be quite scary. Just focus the camera over there a bit. And for the final outcome, I get 3 cards that I read as one reading. So the Page of Swords in reversed, we have the Eight of Cups and the King of Cups. So this is telling me that this client may soon meet or may have already met somebody younger, somebody more immature than they are. This person is probably an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But this Page of Swords, this person can be quite manipulative, very purposeful, and intentional with their words. So when they speak, there's always something hidden behind them. And this person may have been preventing them from being their fully realized self, because this is in reverse. But once they find the courage to walk away from it, this is the Eight of Cups. This means walking away from something good in search for something better. Then they will soon find the King. The King of Swords is the card of Aquarius. This is someone very objective, someone who will use his head over his heart, someone who cares for others, although they may have trouble showing it. And this king is such an upgrade from this page. The immature and, you know, immature, very unformed energy into someone with a headstrong, persevering attitude. So it's all just a matter of being able to walk away, having the strength, having the resolve to really cut ties and break ties or burn bridges. All right. So even in the sample reading, you can see the strings connecting together. So that's the reading. And when I look at the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Swords in reverse. So what that means is there's no decision to be made. You know, deep down inside, you know what to do. And the Two of Swords is also one of the cards that you can relate to burning bridges, cutting ties, because that's what swords are all about. Removing things that are unnecessary, using your mind over your heart in resolving dilemmas. All right? So, if my client is still not, satisfied with the reading, I usually give oracle decks. Even if the client doesn't ask, I would usually do this just to give them additional insight or additional messages or advice. Let's see what the oracle has to say for our hypothetical client. So this next person that they'll meet, this could be the one. And it says here, it is safe for you to love. All right. This is the thing that they've been really afraid of, right? That they would be vulnerable and open up to someone wrong again and, waste their feelings, waste their emotions, get hurt in the process. But the cards are reassuring us that it is safe for this client to love and that the next person that they'll meet, this King of Swords, could be the one. So that's something that might give them hope. And let's say they have a follow-up question. They might ask, how will this this King of Swords and I meet? What are the circumstances when they would meet? So I can ask my Lenormand about it. I usually get an odd number of cards for that, usually 5. the way you read Lenormand is like you're like stitching through a sentence because each card has like a word and you read it like a sentence. So, fish, house, anchor, heart, and coffin. All right. So, based on what I see here, this meeting will happen most probably at a friend's house, or not really a friend's house, but someone you know who is wealthy will invite you to their house, to their place, to their abode. So maybe like this is a villa or a mansion, but it's going to be a long party, and that's when you will meet this person, and that's when everything else will no longer matter to you. Because once you see this person, it's like everyone else in the room um, is over, like they don't exist anymore. Or this could also mean that you will meet this person towards the end of this party already. So that's how I would interpret this Lenormand reading. And usually, the clients would be satisfied with this question and move on to the next question. Something like maybe career or something like that, whatever they want. So that's like a brief preview of how I do my readings. And usually at the end, I give them messages from the oracle cards. I usually use this Moonology oracle card, or the other one, the other deck that I have, which is Work Your Light. But usually it contains something profound, but still usable for day-to-day living. So let's see what the cards has to say for this hypothetical client that we have. See, it says confidence is your key to success, which is something that this client has been lacking or feels that they've been lacking. And next, sorry, you and your loved ones are safe. So it says here it's safe for you to love. This one here says you and your loved ones are safe. So this person, this client could really use some opening up, you know? It's the right time for them to open up again. And would you know it? It says new moon in Cancer. So in a few days, we are having new moon in Cancer as well. So very timely. I like how even in this hypothetical situation, the reading makes perfect sense. I hope it did make sense to you as well. But yeah, that's basically it. And if you do want to book a reading, I'll put the link to my FB page in the description. So thank you so much for watching. I hope I have enlightened you somehow, like a sneak peek into my world. So thank you and hope to see you in our next videos. Bye bye.